What's up, everyone? It's Bryan Hornung here from the Exact IT Solutions YouTube channel, and welcome to another video where we educate you about cybersecurity in the hopes that you can learn what to do to protect yourself and at least be aware of the threats out there. So today's content, we're going to talk about REvil, or REvil, however you like to pronounce it, and the fact that Bitdefender has created a master key for their ransomware malware. So let's talk about, we're going to jump into what this means to you or anyone who's been affected by the REvil ransomware and what you can do about it. But the good news is there's a master key that decrypts the ransomware, freely available from Bitdefender today. So let's get into it. All right, guys. Good news. This is, I guess, score this one for the good guys, right? Bitdefender. Interestingly enough, Bitdefender is a Romanian-based company, so keep that in mind as I go through this video today and discuss things with you. But as you can see up on the screen here, Bitdefender offers free universal decryptor for REvil Sony Nokibi ransomware, and that's just another name for this group's ransomware. If you see my videos in the past, you know that I've referred to this group as both of those names. And so let's go. So we're going to get into it and see what happens here. But Bitdefender is offering this key, right? And what this key does is it unlocks, and there's a lot to unpack here, so I'm trying to think through how I want to present this to you. But, you know, this key unlocks all REvil ransomware up until this point. So if you've been hit with ransomware from REvil, you can use this key to unlock your files for free. Now, these things do happen. These keys do come out periodically. And what's going to happen now is REvil is going to go back to the drawing board, if they haven't already, and create a different malware with a different malware strain with a different key, and that's what happens. They'll revise the malware strain, so they'll call it reconstructing the malware, but basically they just have to put a new key in. It's a little bit more complicated than it sounds, but they will change the key so they can continue to operate their criminal organization. But the interesting thing is that, it's out there now. So if you do get hit with ransomware from REvil and you have this key now to unlock your files. So, unless they change it very quickly, you could potentially lock your files if you even get hit, like if you got hit last week or last night or the other day, because this was released today. So it's good news, but it's not going to last very long. The other good news is REvil is probably going to have to retreat for a while, unless they knew that this was coming and they already did that retreat when they went away for several months over the summer, and now they came back over Labor Day. So it's interesting to kind of see and know how this will eventually play out. So the other interesting things that are around this this particular ransomware group and this strain and this key being released is a couple interesting things. Bitdefender worked with a trusted law enforcement source, which is kind of the same language we heard when Kaseya got their key from a trusted source. They didn't specifically say law enforcement, but they said trusted source. We have confirmed that the Kaseya key and this key released by Bitdefender are actually different in that the Kaseya key only unlocked the Kaseya victims. This will unlock all victims, including the Kaseya victims. This is the master key, and this is what security people and security researchers, and kudos to Bitdefender, big fan of their company and big fan of what they do out there for the security community. They went and they worked hard. They put time, money, and resources to work with law enforcement to get this key for, the community and the greater good. So that's very interesting. And, you can check out the post here. I'm going to link to the actual post because that's where the key is. So if you need the key, you can get it right in the description below the video. And remember, please like and subscribe to the channel if you learn anything, educated, entertained, or any of that stuff. Your subscribes and your likes help this channel grow, but they also help other people see this content, and it's important content, and I do a good job putting it out there. So like and subscribe would be awesome. So other important things here is there's chatter on the internet. If you go back a couple of days and look at a video I did the other day, I'm not going to cover it here. You can go watch that video if you want to know what's going on since REvil has returned. I talk about some posts in some dark websites and some things like that are related to this that you might want to get educated on. But Bitdefender is not sharing any information about who the law enforcement force was. But we believe it's European law enforcement. So, and like I said, they're based in Romania. So take that with whatever you want. Could mean nothing. It could mean everything. So they're not releasing how they got it, but the release of this is actually a big game changer because this puts REvil behind the 8 ball. Maybe when they were planning on releasing a lot of ransomware, because I've covered this in other videos where they're heavily recruiting people right now. A couple other interesting things about this is that there are quite a few dark websites where this is not only being talked about, but they're trying to figure out how all this stuff is being leaked, or who maybe potentially somebody on the inside at REvil is involved in this, all this stuff that's going on with their keys being released through Kaseya and now through Bitdefender. The other interesting thing that's going on as a result of REvil coming back and things like that on the dark web is, there's a lot of speculation on the dark web and people voicing that the explanation given by the new REvil representative that I mentioned in my last REvil video is that the key, there was a misclick by one of their people, and that's how law enforcement was able to obtain the Kaseya key. But people on the inside who know how ransomware works, who know how the software that is written for the people that are involved, meaning the employees, so to speak, that are involved in making all the things happen that go on behind the scenes in a ransomware attack. That process is very well defined, and you go through that basically step by step using computer software. So there's been no history in the past of REvil misclicking or doing any misstep like that resulted in somebody getting their hands on the keys and basically not needing to pay the ransom. This is the only time it happened with the Kaseya attack. So there's a lot of speculation that is really not what happened here, based on what the person is saying who is purportedly representing REvil these days on the dark web. There's a lot of speculation and cloud around the REvil return, because the core developer, the main developer who developed basically all the software that REvil uses, is gone. And there's a lot of speculation from the underground community that this particular person actually was the one who gave the key to Kaseya and got paid directly, and then didn't share the money with any of the affiliates or anyone involved. And he's now removed from the organization. It's being speculated. On top of that, it's believed that the REvil that has returned are low-level employees that really are just trying to live off the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt of the REvil name. So there's a lot going on here in a short period of time, and it feels like almost like a soap opera at some points. But there's a lot of stuff going on with this organization, with this particular ransomware strain. But kudos to Bitdefender. Get your keys if you've been expecting them or hoping for them. But let me just leave you with this. Please, please, please don't use this good news and bake that into your cybersecurity plan at all, there should be nothing in your plan that relies on the key being broken, because these keys might never be broken. That's kind of what you're dealing with. It's a crapshoot. You're gambling. If getting the keys from, or hoping that someone cracks the key one day, is part of your plan. So it shouldn't be part of your plan. It never should be part of your plan. It's kind of like icing on the cake. You need to get to a cyber resilient position, and that's where your plan needs to go. You need to be cyber resilient. You need to make sure that we are taking a resilient approach to information security, and making sure that you have segregation and that everybody's working together, and that you're building a culture of cybersecurity with the thought that you are going to be attacked one day and you're going to live through it, because you have a plan and you know exactly how you're going to execute on that plan should the day ever come. Again, don't rely on these universal decryptors to be figured out by a security company and be released. This rarely happens. I'm glad it did. And if REvil, if this is a shadow group, they're probably not coming back after this. But if their core people are still in place, they're going to rewire this ransomware and they're going to keep hitting. So that's where we're at today. I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see you in the next video.